Welcome to Animal Stories for Kids. If you like our stories, please give us a 5-star rating, subscribe to our podcast, and share it with your friends and family. Plus, check out exclusive show-related content and join the community at patreon.com/Animal Stories for Kids. And now, it's time for our story. Once upon a time, there was a bark scorpion named Isaac. Isaac the bark scorpion lived in the warm heart of Arizona's Sonoran Desert, where saguaro cactuses stretch their arms into the sky and the moon glows like a gentle lantern at night. Isaac wasn't just any bark scorpion. He was clever and careful, and he had a warm heart hidden under his tough exoskeleton. As night fell and the desert came alive with chirps, hoots, and rustles, Isaac the bark scorpion had one goal: finding a new, safe nook to call his own. His current shelter had become dangerous. A strong windstorm came by a few days ago and blew down the mesquite tree he was living in and split it right in the middle, allowing all sorts of creatures and predators to see all of Isaac the bark scorpion's little hiding spaces in the tree trunk. But not only was his shelter dangerous to live in, there was now a kit fox that had been coming around to look for anything small to eat. Isaac knew it was time to move. He clicked his pincers together and began his journey. Under the glow of the moonlight, Isaac the bark scorpion scuttled across the sandy soil. He passed by all sorts of creatures and plants. The desert was buzzing with life. Cactus wrens rustled in thorny shrubs, and kangaroo rats darted in and out of their burrows. Suddenly, a movement caught Isaac's eye. A kit fox, fluffy, orange, and curious. It was sniffing around a bunch of bushes. Isaac froze. Kit foxes love snacks, and a bark scorpion could become one if he wasn't careful. Slowly, Isaac the bark scorpion backed into the shade of a prickly pear cactus. The kit fox twitched its ears and bounded off toward a kangaroo rat that it spotted. Isaac kept on going. He wasn't the biggest creature in the desert, nor was he the strongest, but he was clever, and most of all, he was determined to find the perfect spot for himself, even if it took all night to do that, no matter how long it took. After traveling through the desert for a while now, he finally found something. The perfect spot was up ahead for Isaac. It was a towering saguaro cactus. Isaac the bark scorpion knew that Gila woodpeckers often pecked holes in saguaros, and sometimes the holes dried into perfect hideouts. But the journey up to find those holes would be tricky. But that didn't matter to him. He just needed to go and find a spot for himself. He carefully crawled onto the base, his tiny hooked claws helping him grip the tough green skin. Bark scorpions are expert climbers, using their tiny hairs on their feet to cling on to surfaces. Higher and higher he climbed, balancing his 8 legs just right. Halfway up, a hairy leg dangled out of a crevice. Isaac the bark scorpion paused. It was a tarantula, and it was sleeping. The tarantula slowly came out and looked at Isaac. It wasn't a mean tarantula. It was just curious, and it looked at Isaac with a slow blink and said, "Hey there, what you doing here in my cactus?" "Looking for a home," Isaac replied politely. "Okay, just don't come too close. I had a long night chasing moths and gnats," said the tarantula. Isaac said, "Understood." Isaac the bark scorpion walked carefully around the sleepy spider and then continued climbing. The stars sparkled overhead, and somewhere below, an owl hooted. Then, out of nowhere, a sudden gust of wind made the cactus sway gently. Isaac hunkered low and held tight. The desert wind was tricky, but Isaac the bark scorpion was determined. Finally, he reached a snug, hollowed-out hole high up in the cactus. Isaac poked his pincers inside. It was perfect. It was warm from taking in the sun all day. It was safe, and he could stay away from any predators for the night. And so, he waved one claw in the air in triumph and said, "I did it! I made it to the top!" He looked out into the desert from where he was, and he was able to see everything. He could even see a little bit of the mesquite tree that he came from. He was so happy that he was able to travel so far and stay safe the whole time. He then curled up in the nook and rested, feeling safe for the first time in many nights. The desert air was still and warm, and he could feel the warmth of the slow breeze through the cactus spines. Isaac the bark scorpion finally found some peace and safety, and he realized that life in the desert wasn't about being the biggest or the fastest. It was about knowing when to move, when to hide, and when to keep climbing. And sometimes it was all about finding your own little quiet space, high up in the cactus, where the stars wink at you from above. And from that night on, Isaac lived quietly among the stars and saguaros. And sometimes, when the moon lights the top of the saguaros just right, you could spot a happy little bark scorpion resting in the shade of a little nook, curled up in his new cozy little world. And the bark scorpion lived happily ever after. The end. The bark scorpion is more commonly known as the Arizona bark scorpion or Centruroides sculpturatus. Bark scorpions are arachnids. Arachnids are special groups of animals that have 8 legs, like spiders, ticks, and mites. Bark scorpions are part of this group because they have 8 legs and no wings or antennae. Scorpions have 2 main body parts, like spiders. The cephalothorax is like the animal's head and chest squished together. It's where you find the eyes, mouth, and legs. Think of it as the control center where a lot of the action happens. The abdomen is the back part of the body. It's like the animal's tummy or butt. It usually holds stuff like the stomach or helps with breathing. In spiders, it's where they make their silk for webs. In scorpions, it's where they have their long, bendy tail. Bark scorpion tails are made of 5 tiny segments that curve like a hook. At the very tip is a stinger that looks like a sharp little hook. The tail is the scorpion's secret weapon. The tail zips forward fast when the scorpion feels scared or wants to catch a meal. The stinger shoots a tiny drop of venom to stop its food from running away. Bark scorpions are careful, so they don't use their tails all the time. They only sting when they have to. If something is just bugging them a little, they try to run away first. But if danger comes close, the tail can sting in the blink of an eye. Bark scorpions can sting over its head and even upside down. Some animals, like owls and lizards, they try to eat scorpions, so that tail comes in handy. When scorpions are just walking around, the tail curls over its back like a question mark. Bark scorpions can be up to 3 inches long, and they're light brown or tan colored. Bark scorpions can be found in the Sonoran Desert in Arizona in the US and parts of California, New Mexico, Central America, the Caribbean, and South America. There are about 80 different species of bark scorpions all around the world, and most of them are named scientifically by the location they're found in. Bark scorpions love hiding under tree bark, rocks, wood piles, and even inside houses. They can climb up walls and trees and even ceilings. They try to find places to hide to stay cool during the hot desert days. Bark scorpions are nocturnal. During the day, they sleep in the dark and cool spots. Bark scorpions sneak up on tiny bugs and catch them with their pincers and stingers. Bark scorpions love to eat crickets, roaches, beetles, spiders, and other insects. They grab their food with their pincers and sting it, and then they slurp it up like soup. Bark scorpions give birth to live babies, and they can have up to 30 tiny babies at one time. The baby scorpions ride on their mother's back until they grow a new outer shell. Then they go off on their own. Scorpions are usually solitary. Bark scorpions are the most venomous scorpions in North America. Getting stung by one can really hurt, and most of the time it hurts much more than a bee sting. Even though bark scorpions like to be alone, sometimes they like to snuggle together in the wintertime to stay warm. Bark scorpions can squeeze through holes the size of credit card corners, just 1/16 of an inch. The outer shell of a bark scorpion contains special chemicals that can glow under UV light. Have you seen a real-life bark scorpion before? If you have, where did you see it? If you want to write to us, ask your parent to email us at animalstoriesforkids@gmail.com and tell us what you think of our stories. We would love to hear from you. Thanks for listening to Animal Stories for Kids. If you like our stories, please give us a 5-star rating, subscribe to our podcast, and share it with your friends and family. Plus, check out exclusive show-related content and join the community at patreon.com/animalstoriesforkids. Until next time, bye!